G'day and welcome to Game 1 in this best of 3 between OG and Gaming Gladiators. Lower bracket elimination. Both teams are on the edge. Opening picks, Gaming Gladiators grab themselves an Enchantress, and OG reply with the Naga Siren and the Snapfire. Now, I've been long saying that the Naga Siren in this patch, I think, is the carry of the patch. I'm going to have to see how OG do with it today. Yeah, I could be proven wrong by the stats, but that's not going to get in the way of a good story. They're being picked here today. First phase bans will be the Marcy and Primal Beast, unsurprisingly. And Gaming Gladiators take out the Timbersaw and the Wraith. They're just really hard targeted bans towards Amar. Yeah, so this reminds me of, you know, when you've got an offlaner that is just an absolute boss and you just use all your bans to first phase them out of the game. Similar to, you know, Bounty Hunter, Lone Druid being banned, TI3 against Bulldog, you know. You couldn't ban all his heroes, but you can try and get rid of a couple. Same with Amar here. Get rid of the Timber, get rid of the Razor, and see what he's left with afterwards. GG, Gaming Gladiators will pick up the Shadow Fiend. Man, bans are coming out thick and fast. So Shadow Fiend could be that safe lane Shadow Fiend, although I think that's fallen a little bit out of favor recently since it hasn't had a lot of success. So I think it might be back to the mid lane. Team still recognizing that's a strong hero, but not putting the weight of their game on its shoulders. Second phase bans, Brewmaster, Tide, and one more to come from OG. Game Gladiators are taken out Sniper, Morphling, and Mars. So Mars being banned against Amar, and then there's Morphling and Sniper. Now, Morphling and Sniper, interesting bans there when we've already seen the Naga Siren. I mean, we could just see them mid, banning out sort of the BZM mid heroes. Or there's a thought that this Naga Siren from OG, not the POS 1. Some sort of support Naga, although I doubt that. I think Naga's very strong in the core role at the moment. Now, I will throw my apologies early on. There is one name in this series I'm not 100% sure about how to say. The POS 1 for Gaming Gladiators. Ratio? I feel like I've heard it said before. I've heard it say people said it before, but my tongue just struggled with it, I think. Dratio? I'll just ignore the Y. Dratio? I'll go with Dratio. My apologies once again. Legion Commander will be the third ban in the second phase from OG, and they'll pick up the Invoker. So that'll be the BZM Invoker going to the mid lane. It looks as if we'll see a 4 Snapfire, probably played by Tiger, and they'll leave the one being played by Yuragi on the Naga Siren. Gaming Gladiators still have that flexibility in that the Shadow Fiend pick could be the POS 1. I doubt it though. So it has fallen out of popularity. Tiny. I'm seeing this as a 4 Tiny at the moment. Likely to be a Tofu Tiny. 5 Enchantress being handled by Celery.
10 seconds remaining. 5
and
seconds remaining.
I think there's still. I think I saved that POS 1 pick for last. I think they'll grab themselves the offlaner here. And looking at what's still, we've seen Underlord run a little bit, but I don't think Underlord's really great against Naga, just with the multiple damage instances. I mean, it is going to reduce the physical damage, but it's a good mix of physical and magical at the moment coming out from Naga, Snapfire, and Invoker, so you don't really want to go all in on that physical damage resistance. You want something that can move around with the Tiny, maybe provide a +1 to help this 4 Tiny. Get some rotations. Beastmaster's in the pool still. Silencer. Now, I did see a 3 Silencer run yesterday, I believe. So, we'll just keep our eye out for that this could be possibly a 3 Silencer. And we're still just looking at the Shadow Fiend, wondering that if it is the POS 1, or if it will be going to the mid lane. Interesting draft from Gaming Gladiators. Flexibility in what they want to do. And I think it's flexibility is both a gift and a curse, in that you allow yourself to respond to the picks from OG for Gaming Gladiators, but by doing that, you're not really 100% going in on what your plan for the game is. With the Invoker, tend to want to have a setup for the Sunstrike if you want to go for the Exort Invoker, which is generally the plan. I mean, the net from Naga Siren's pretty decent for setup, but Naga's not going to be the ones making plays in the early game. You want an offlaner that has some sort of hard lockdown. Yeah, they'll grab themselves a Slider. So Blink Crush and then follow up with the Bash. That should be enough to get the Sunstrike off. And honestly, with Snapfire in the area as well, with the Cookie, or even just the Morden's Kisses, that should be enough to get pickoffs pretty much around the map anywhere. I doubt a Global Silence will come out fast enough or even make much of a difference once the initiations come from Slider. Because yeah, you're going to silence the Slider, but he's already going to a Blink Stunned. And the Bashes are not going to be stopped by the Global Silence. That's going to be a very, very quick sort of gank squad. And Enchantress probably can survive if there's no Snapfire around, but if Snapfire's in there as well, that low HP pool's just going to get burnt through incredibly quickly. Last phase bans, Faceless Void removed, so yeah, GaiminGladiators is still thinking that this POS 1 is not going to be the Naga Siren. Maybe it isn't, maybe this is a 4 Naga. 4-5 Naga. It's looking to have that vision control and hard lockdown with the net, and it will be the Naga that's perhaps rotating and setting up for the Invoker. Okay, Lucina 47, welcome into the stream. Lovely to have you here. Hope you enjoy the cast today. TA will be banned out.
10 seconds remaining.
And OG may have just sold the bluff all the way through.
Remaining.
They did grab their 1 and 3, oh sorry, their 2 and 3 in the second phase, which might indicate that they're still holding out for their POS 1. If this is a 5 Naga, then this is a or a support Naga in any capacity. This is a very greedy lineup. Beastmaster banned from OG, that's why I called out Beastmaster still available. Batrider's still in the pool as well, if you're considering those vision type strong single target lockdown heroes. Which is really, really good against a Naga. You know, a Naga can generally survive as long as they have an opportunity to get the song off. But if you get Roared or Lassoed, then you might just go down really quickly. Broodmother will be the ban. They're looking to control, or not wanting to have their map just controlled from the 10-minute mark onwards. They want to be able to move freely and get good value out of the Invoker sort of moving around the map and throwing in those Sunstrikes.
5 seconds remaining.
If you only play on half the map, then you just can't get good value out of that global presence of the Invoker. Last pick, they do have 1 minute and 15 remaining to get the job done. And I think it's a POS 1. It's still to come out here. So, POS 1s that are in the draft still, and there's plenty. Old Warlord, PL, Slark. Although a melee core against a Slider offlane is pretty questionable. Tend to might want to go back for a ranged Drow is there. Drow's been very popular as of late.
OG's turn to pick.
And we'll see the Underlords. So this is going to be likely the safe lane Shadow Fiend with the mid tiny. And the Monkey King comes out last. Yes, it is a safe lane Shadow Fiend. And we'll just, it could be a mid silencer. No, it will be the mid tiny, the GaiminGladiators, and then the offlane Underlord being played by Ace. For OG, Yuragi will have the 1 Monkey King Amab with the offlane Slider, BZM on the Evoker, and we will see a 4 Naga Siren. So, I mean, happy to go late game with this 4 Naga Siren. Certainly not going to fall off in a hurry. Okay. I think from the drafts...
10 seconds remaining.
It's just it's like what someone's laughing. No, just voice lines. I think from the drafts we can. I like the draft of OG. I think the safe lane Shadow Fiend has really fallen off the last few days of competition, and teams that are still sticking with it haven't had a lot of success. So. And with a Monkey King, you can just get on top of the Shadow Fiend, same as Slaughter. I think the Shadow Fiend just can get blown up over and over again in team fights. Once the Shadow Fiend gets stunned once by the Slaughter, follow-up's going to come from Yuragi, and they're just going to be able to stick on top of him. And once the BKBs are there for OG, this Global Silence isn't going to have that much of an effect. So I did call out the Underlord earlier in the draft, and they did end up taking it last. I mean, I guess against a Slaughter and Monkey King, it's pretty good. The physical damage did come in late for OG. So it is a pretty good pick, but I don't think it will be enough. I think the physical damage would just be overwhelming. With the Corrosive Haze and the Jingu, you know, Naga Siren getting some minus armor with the Riptides, I don't think there's any way that this Shadow Fiend actually survives through the burst. Little pause coming out here. First gives ourselves a little chance to in 25 minutes I don't think I think Yuragi is just gonna have the most 25 minutes, honestly. Last player to be killed. Take a punt. Take a punt. Okay. We have a little pause. Both teams just hanging out. I mean, after the controversy, I can see how many teams have removed their effigies from their base. I mean, I think pretty much all of them. Effigies have been removed after the drama with the effigies. So I think teams maybe have just said, yeah, let's not take any risks. If you have an effigy that is even remotely questionable, just to make sure that that's not there. 3 movement speed. Sapphire has... I mean, they are smoked. I was going to say 345 movement speed under smoke though. Still, that's very fast with no boots. That fires a lot faster than what I sort of anticipated. So both teams moving out to the mid lane. Illusions will be spawned from Tiger. Just doing a little bit of scouting. Good way to break a smoke with the main hero behind you. You get the vision on as well. Tracho finding himself at +2 gold. Feels good, man. Will he get another 2? Well, that's plus 4 gold into the buckets of Gaimin Gladiator. Oh, net worth lead. Although it still says OG have an overall net worth less than 1k net worth lead at the moment, but 4 gold going towards Gaimin Gladiators already. So vision being planted down here. Gaimin Gladiators get a wood up. There's a sentry on Tiger, doesn't place it down. And there's a little bit deeper, so they'll probably get scouted out. This is pinged as well, so they know that's being blocked. Gaimin Gladiators securing the bottom rune.
The battle begins.
And both sides. And it'll be 2 runes apiece, actually. Ratcho's been found with the stun. Tiger has the illusions, maybe trying to body block, but can't get ahead now. But that's a lot of damage. Not actually no regen, just the 3 mangoes. They spotted this out with the orb. Orb of Venom. One more hit wants to get it. Yeah, one more tick. And, I mean, that's just severe damage in this top lane to Trasho already. In this top lane, since we are here, we Amar playing the Slider, being supported by Tiger on the 4 Nagasaren, up against Celery on the Enchantress and Bracho on the Shadow Fiend. In the mid lane, see Boom for GaiminGladiators on the mid Tiny, playing up against BZM on the Invoker. We'll secure that ranged creep there with Sunstrike. And down the safe lane, we have Misha, Pos5 playing the Snapfire, supporting Yuragi on the Monkey King. They're laning against Ace. Ace on the Underlord, and Tofu playing the Silencer. Top lane, there might be some body blocks happening. Celery could try and get caught here. No, he did manage to weasel his way around, but Tiger's quite quick. 330 movement speed, and with the slow from the Orb of Venom, can get around Celery. Now shows here, does miss the first rage, and Tiger's just on top of him with the illusions. Mango popped. Will live for the time being. But this top lane's going to be pretty aggressive with the Slider. Once he gets a couple of points in the bash, I think they have to be really careful. Oh, excellent last time there from BZM, managing to get that ranged creep on that mid lane, even against the Avalanche. Stun. Just to offer a little bit of harass against Ace. Yuragi won't throw the chase afterwards. So 1 level in stun, the Boundless, and 1 in the Jingu at the moment. Contests on the pool camps, getting the sentries down. Now at the level in bash, GaiminGladiators have to be really careful on this top lane. I'm interested to see. I imagine it will be the Riptide level 2. Yuragi taking a lot of damage from the last word. I think actually dodged the last word damage. Well done there. And now he's going to turn back around with the cookie. There is a Boundless to follow up. This is probably going to be our first blood. Get the stacks up. Oh, there's the last hit. Throws out the stun onto the wave. Tries to get a little bit of heal back. And first blood going over to Yuragi on this bottom lane. Yeah, very aggressive lanes from OG as well, I think, in their favor. You look Snapfire Monkey, that's definitely kill potential. And Korea with 1 hit. 2 hits, goes down, and actually had the regen on it. He didn't make it away. So Bracho just still see on those 2 mangoes, just a passive regen to keep him up. I guess there's an Enchantress, but no levels in Nature's Attendance just yet. Holding the skill point now on Amar. Trying whether he wants to get the bash or not. Mid lane should be fairly passive unless there's some sort of toss play back in, or we get some sort of rotation to the mid lane. But at the moment, looks like side lanes are sticking to themselves. Avalanche coming out. With the pause points, BZM should be able to heal back up. Not too much issue there. Bottom lane, Tofu is being caught again. I mean, this combination of the cookie, not even needing the Boundless Strike. They've got the Orb of Corrosion up, and the slow is just enough. I mean, 290 movement speed on the Silencer, and he's going to get chased down every day of the week. Top lane, Amar is in a little bit of trouble. Does miss with the stun, but sort of had to throw it out to stop the chase. Just have a couple of tangos is sending out a salve. One thing about this top lane is you do have to respect the razors. Level 2 now on the razors, triple razors, it's a lot of damage. Each one of those razors, 160 damage plus the stack damage of 60 each time. So eventually 180 bonus damage if you get the stacks occurring.
Structures are fortified.
Thinking about the second raise. Bottom lane. Last word being used. Tiger, they're really valuing the Orb of Venom, Orb of Corrosions on both lanes just for the additional chase potential. Is still just less than 1k net worth lead to OG despite them having the 2 kills in this bottom lane to start off with. We can see that the last hits are actually favouring the side of GaiminGladiators in the lane, so still potential lanes for the side of OG, but just a lot more stable with this Underlord. Very hard to displace from this bottom lane. See, top last hits 26 and 8 at the moment, and really difficult to get him out. They might go for it here. They might get it. There's the cookie. 4 stacks are up. Stun. Holding on to it. The silence will come out. And see, that level 2 in the Firestorm does do decent work. Still with the 3 Jingu Mastery stacks. Cookie in 7. just think about going through all this. This courier will get sniped out. There's the jump. Moving forward, they want to try and get the catch, but a little too far away. Top lane. Action is occurring here as well. With the illusions chasing down on the celery. Now, get the stun. I think with the illusions hitting the minus armor, it might be enough. Level 1 in ensnare. One of the good things you see about the support Naga Siren is the early points in ensnare, and it is really strong. 2.75 seconds of root. Doesn't deal any damage, but with the illusions hitting, that's enough. Double bounties. Might just save him there for the mid. Keeps one there for the mid laner. In case he wants to refill the bottle. BZM, Tofu has made the rotation, but Boom is a little too far away to get any movement onto that. Nisha's just duking it out with Ace. Now hits with the cookie, follows up with the Primal Spring. There's the stun. Sunstrike, and that should be the damage with the stacks. And OG getting another kill in this bottom lane. Meanwhile, top lane, Slider did go down. Amar almost got the kill on the seller. In fact, the illusions are chasing. I think she's fast enough with the boots to get away. Last raise almost enough. And Tiger can walk it away, although the Raider chasing will have to use the net. If the cooldown had been there on the siege shot, careful. Oh, plus 51 gold. Will get away there alive. Bash. Level 3 now in the Bash of the Deep, so wants to just keep abusing that as much as he can on this top lane, but Dennis reasonably low. Only level 2 in the Razors. And yeah, only enough for one raise at the moment. No mangoes. Maybe the tread switch has enough for 2. There is a rotation moving top though. Celery and Boom making their way over under the cover of the smoke. No blinks yet, but level 6 on the Tiny. It's a decent amount of burst. Tiger's going to run into him. Avalanche catches first. I'm not sure which one the real one is there. They see the net, and with the razors, Boom will have a successful rotation. In the bottom lane, moving through onto Ace. There's Firestorm on the deck, looking to follow through. Stun. There's the Sunstrike, plus the damage from the Scatter Blast. And they have enough again. This Underlord is just getting picked off now at will in this bottom lane. You can see the setup for this Sunstrike in both lanes. They have the Slider Stun on the top lane, and the Boundless Strike on the bottom with the Fire Snap Cookie. Maxed out Sunstrike, 4 levels in Exhort already. Pure damage, 300 pure damage anywhere on the map. And it's ready again to go, so you gotta be careful as Ace in this bottom lane. Level 5 now, he started to be caught up. You can see his net worth is down at the 5th highest. Even though his last hits were pretty good, he's been killed multiple times now, so just losing off that gold, Jiragi. Himself a little pull there, just proving that carries can pull too. And Fred's Orbit Corrosion in this bottom lane with a casual Sage's Mask for the time being. He'll just keep his meta topped up. He can be fight ready pretty much at any point. Boom working towards the blink now after he's got the treads. Agi treads, pretty value on the Tiny just so he can hit a little bit quicker. Smoke, bottom lane again. It's the Silencer and the Tiny. It worked before. Will they have another successful rotation? They'll collect themselves a bounty rune either way. That won't be spotted. There's no ward on the area. Isha pokes his head out here. He might just get caught. They suspect something might be up. Tofu's smoke did break. And OG will just play nice and safe behind the tower. Rotations can come in if necessary. He's going to
Radiant are scanning.
Let's cut the wave. Eventually put a little bit of pressure on Yuragi, but there's no one else coming. Yuragi does TP top, sensing that with the wave being cut, actually going to get on top of the SF. Does he have the Requiem? No, he doesn't. He's going to be caught inside the Wukongs with the Sunstrike. Not even necessary. And this is the issue I see for this Shadow Fiend this game. That was even without the Slider. That was just a simple jump in, and Yuragi popping down the Wukongs, and it's a simple kill. Maxed out Jingu Mastery, so he's gone in for the full harass, full skirmish build, sure he'll start maxing up the tree dance just to farm a little quicker soon. But I foresee the future of Dracio's game this one on the SF is going to be a Monkey King and Slider just jumping on top of him and just getting bashed and physical damage just being a little bit too much. And there's no hard saves. And there is no disruption, there's no Oracle, no Dazzle. Nothing that's just going to keep him alive to be able to get that BKB off and maybe Requiem. But bashes are just getting too much stun. Does miss. It is a full 5-man rotation, or 4-man rotation. I mean, the Invoker is mid, but Sunstrike is available, so he may as well be in the area as well. It looks like this top tier 1 will fall. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, GaiminGladiators are doing a similar move, putting some pressure on this bottom tier 1 tower. I think they'll get it as well, slowly but surely. The creeps will push in. How much gold are these illusions giving now? 10 gold. Decent. 10 gold. Later on in the game, the Naga illusions give a fair bit more, you know. You can start to up to 30, 40, 50 gold for an illusion. There's a ward up on this high ground that's just scouting out everything at the moment. Net forward. There's the Mortimer's Kisses. Only a couple with the global coming through will save Boom. So Mortimer's Kisses traded for global and a life on the mid laner. Global down for another 113 seconds. Now I'm interested to see what build Tiger's going for on this Sport Naga. We'll just be going for the Wraith Pact. I mean, why would I have thought any differently that it would be a Wraith Pact? So just wants to be a nuisance in the fight, provide a little bit of damage mitigation. Meanwhile, in OG's jungle, actually the rotation comes and they catch out Yuragi, but there'll be the trade kill. Ace will fall easily to the rotation of Misha and BZM. Wasn't a rift. Misha looking to give himself a little stack here. As much value as he can out of the map at the moment. BZM, I think, stacking as well. No, doesn't quite get it. Some of these creep camps are notoriously hard at stacking. This one here is an absolute pain if you pull it the wrong way. Tofu, just the arcane boots for the time being. Keep Boom nice and topped up as the mid Tiny. Tiny not having a lot of mana, so bottle pretty essential, and the wand just to make sure he has enough for a couple of rounds of combos. Blink Dagger is online now for Boom, so rotations can come thick and fast. Although it's not really a gank heavy team when you look at it. Tiny Silencer's not particularly fast moving. Yeah, they got that kill on Yuragi with the help of the Requiem. Hard for a move. Smoke on smoke now. Up on the high ground. Yuragi jumping through. In the tree dance. Level 2 for the time being. And I think smokes broke for both teams. And both just sort of wandered back in the opposite direction knowing it was a bit risky. Did they catch Celery up in this top? I think they have, yeah. This Enchantress is going to be in a lot of trouble with the bonus damage. And they don't even need down the strike. In fact, yeah, no level yet in Untouchable. So I think they still get the kill there, even if she does have the Untouchable, or he even has the Untouchable. So recognizing it's not really relevant at the moment. There's a lot of magical damage still can burst through that small HP field. They were just holding the Boundless Strike there. You can see they didn't even need it. BZM, Midas, and Boots of Travel online, like looking into the BKB next. So he wants to be able to stand and fight, and also be active around the map. Continuing to farm. I mean, the Boots of Travel Midas build is just maximum farm. There's maximum farm going into a BKB, so you can farm around the map, but if there is a fight, you can get involved and assist very easily. Ace close now to the Wraith Pact himself. They're looking to make a bit of a movement mid. They'd love to get that Wraith Pact sent out to him before this push. That'd be a huge power spike for the Gaming Gladiators before trying to take this tier 1 tower. Scan is used, catching someone up on the high ground. They know that there's potential rotation coming from OG. It's a little bit risky. Global is up online. I think if you can get that Wraith Pact, this push can become a reality. Upside though, Ace has been spotted. Dragi's just waiting for it. In comes Amar, has the corrosive haze and the damage with the bashes, the sunstrike. It's too much. The TP rotation comes from the SF, but it's all a little bit too late. And this is the threat that OG have on the map right now. So much damage potential, and that was even before the bash on Amar. I mean, he's gone into Midas. The 2 Midases on the side of OG, and they're pretty much drawing level early game. Midas is not a bad item on the Slider because of the attack speed. You want to get those bash of the deeps happening a little quicker. It's almost like a pseudo Mask of Madness. It gives you that farm potential, but also really to stun lock someone down with the bashes. Netting the bird, the wild ring, and I think with Wukong's being used, it's going to be pretty hard to make a contest. They do get the stun. Avalanche toss back in onto Tiger. There is a song. It's ticking down to the damage over time. He needs to be a little bit careful. He'll just TP out. And in the fountain, he will have enough regen to survive. This game at the moment is really difficult to read. I mean, it's a lot based down on cooldowns. And yeah, straight into the roast pit go Gaming Gladiators. They realize that there is no song, no Wukong's command, and this is an opportunity for them to pretty much get whatever they want. Sunstrike will scout it. Actually, Avalanche tosses Amar back into the middle of the fight. He's silenced and immediately dead, caught in the root. It's the global, stopping the Mortimer's Kisses. Roshan, it's half HP. They're going straight back into the pit. If OG want to get something done about this, they've got to get in there quickly. I think they've decided to give it up. With Amar going down, Requiem being used as well, just to make sure if there was any jump, they'll be feared away. Ace, though, being spotted once again, has been the chosen food for the... they're going to make the same play. Stun. Comes out. Damage. Sunstrike. Won't be enough this time. Yeah, he needs the +1. So that's Wukong's command being used from Yuragi. Oh. I think he's safe now. I think that's the plan. I think he's safe. Down the strike in 10. Isha was definitely thinking about it. I think with the Fire Snap plus the Scatter Blast, they would have had enough damage. Tiger, Wraith Pack close to being online. TP's coming, top side, they've caught Racho, and with the stun, and yeah, it's too much. Sunstrike plus Cold Snap. Actually on the backline, 3-man Avalanche from Boom, rotation, 3-man as well with the pit. Catching on top Firestorm. Yuragi's in the middle of the fight, trying to TP out. He will get home just in time. So Aegis claimed. And they may be regretting giving the Aegis to Boom instead of the POS 1. Yeah, he's probably going to be the one more active on the map. I mean, he did get expended. It's not too bad. They get a kill on the Snapfire, but really trading a 5 for a 1, certainly something that OG will sign up for any day of the week. See Celery moving towards the 4-staff, and it's very tempting for these enchantresses to think about long-term damage. And think about those impetus hits in the late game. Get towards that Hurricane Pike and maybe become almost like a 4th core. Moving in, actually double man Avalanche with the Requiem. They're catching on 2, and this is just a... They caught OG with their pants down in their own triangle. Gaming Gladiators triangle, that is. And yeah, they give the tip.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So gotta be careful, OG. They might have the better capacity for team fight, but if their timings aren't there, this Tiny is just starting to snowball around the map. I mean, here's bottom of the net worth, you can see. but certainly doesn't feel like he's bottom of the net worth the way he's playing. With this Blink Dagger and the Echo Saber working into the Aghanim Scepter next, he's causing a lot of havoc. Just with the levels he has. Okay, with the smoke rotation, come out towards the bottom side of the jungle. Circles are drawn. Trying to make a catch onto a Ma. As a BKB. It's quick. There it is, BKB. I mean, want to turn around. Corrosive Haze. Onto Boom. Has the stun. Follow up. And they're not giving up on this. I mean, with the damage from the Meteor, Global's not going to save him here. On the backlines, Tiger's gone in, trying to get a catch. Stun, Boundless. Finds on the Underlord. And Mortimer's Kisses. And there's no way Ace is making it out of this. Or is there? Turns around, Scatterblast. Got a little too close to the Snapfire, and the big gun got put away, and the shotgun got pulled out. And Misha. Adios. Great fight there from OG. And that BKB on the slider just turning it around. Amar not having any part of it, and probably loving the decision to go for that BKB first over the Blink. I know he had both queued up. Decided for the BKB and certainly paid off in that situation. That's what you call a optimal first BKB usage. Yeah, BKB is one of those items that you want to get a little bit of surprise value when you first pop it. And certainly in that situation, GaiminGladiators were unaware that the BKB was there and just completely turned that fight around. And you saw then the lack of net worth on this Tiny. I've just been muted. I'm not 100% sure. BKB now being worked on by Ace. That's a 4-man smoke from OG. Moving to the bottom side. What are they looking for? Pretty much anything with Amar leading. No Blink Dagger though. Love to have that to get that instant catch. They're moving out into the mid. Eventually might scout out this Tiny. There is a Blink Dagger on Boom though. They're going to have to be quick. Going with BZM first. Freeze. Finding anything. Tiger might run into the 3 heroes of GaiminGladiators in this bottom lane. Illusions are scouting it out, and the rest of OG, they're collapsing across, trying to get there quickly. BZM with the Blink. Cyclone in the air. Cold Snap. Will keep Ace locked down for a reasonable amount of time. BKB pop from the Invoker. Really just to run away. And already down to 7 seconds on BZM's BKB, so yeah, pretty happily popping those now. Once you get down to the lower levels, you know, it just becomes use it whenever you need it. Not really you're holding out for a really good usage of that first BKB. And even then, sometimes you see first BKB usages that are just to BKB TP out. It's a bit sad if you have to use it that way, but at the end of the day, you'd rather that than give away a kill. Mech now on Misha, working towards the Guardian Greaves. Wants the full Greaves. Amar's just farming up the stack. Pretty easily as well, and Blink Dagger, it'll be there. Sending it out now, so now they have the instant jump on the side of OG. Blink Dagger, Mage Slayer on Yuragi, wants to have a little bit more resistance. So BKB Mage Slayer, he recognizes the importance of just surviving these initiations, surviving at the start of the fights, and if you can do that, Wukongs can go down, and they can easily take the fight afterwards. Tofu 4-staff being worked on, pretty much almost has the gold for it. At 400 gold away. 5-man smoke from OG. Once again, looking to this bottom side. They went to the triangle last time, didn't find anything. They're moving this time with a Blink. Valery's going to show on the lane, and this is probably going to be a dead Enchantress with the Blink. Sunstrike, and the level 1 Untouchable just didn't even really stop Amar from punching in there with the alacrity, the attack speed. Easily getting the job done. Tiger. Forward, Requiem. Being charged, cancelled. letting OG know there was vision there, and immediately dewarding that one. Painting the river with the chrome, just marking his territory in this mid lane. I mean, it's a little bit pay to lose. You just showed exactly where you were, somewhere in the river. But I mean, it's a slider. Good chance he's in the river somewhere. Top lane. Boom might be looking for a catch. I don't think he has the burst without the tree volley just yet. We'll have to wait and see. Go in on this. Thinking about it. Blink out from BZM. Into the Ghost Wood. And Boom will just show on the lane. Wants to get the farm, but recognizing he doesn't have the burst for BZM. BZM's almost 2,000 HP. Actually, is over 2,000 HP now. GD on the SF. They want to make a fight happen with GaiminGladiators. There's the Mortimer's Kisses being used. Global just being held for the time being. Recognizing it wasn't that important. Stun being held as well. Both teams just posturing either side of the river. Roshan is a spectator in this one for the time being. And GaiminGladiators showed good amount of restraint there. With the DD, there's a want to just charge up that high ground, get good use out of the DD, try and take a fight. But recognizing that that wasn't their moment. And 4 staff now as well. So Shadow Fiend, nice and high amount of mobility working towards the Hurricane Pike. Has damage with the Chrysalis. And ability to stay in the fight with the BKB. This is what you'd expect out of a POS 1 at this timing in the game. They're working out for them for the time being into the Roche Pit. Just scouting it out, OG, almost baiting it. Smoke from GaiminGladiators through the mid lane. They'll show with the razors. They know that they're around. Moving forward now. Ace leading the way. Misha sort of body blocking. Tofu will run in first. There's the vision. Immediately chucked down. Sentry and Ward on the deck. Stun catches on the backline. There's a Hex with a BKB on top. Wukon's command. Trying to back themselves away. Global silence will be used. Ace used the BKB. And back in the river. There's Toss from Boom with the jump. Soul in the middle of the fight. Trying to separate. But the BKB from Amar. And with the right clicks coming through, actually the BKB from the SF didn't even save him. It made him vulnerable. And there's the bashes now following through. Boom with the Avalanche will get the kill done. Celery, impetus hits, moving through on a BZM. Has to use the Ghost to get away. Ragi hiding up in the trees. Thinking about going back in. Does have 3 stacks, none for the time being. Oh my goodness. He got the kill with the Sunstrike. I mean, there wasn't even a ward. I was just blind. PCM. Level 20 now. Did get the 80% Chaos Media damage. Ended up being a 3 for 3 when all was said and done. And back into the Roche Pit we go. Roche really wasn't damaged that much. Wonder if OG think they can get this done in time. There's no global, but otherwise... GaiminGladiators still have their ults. Requiem is online. I mean, that's really the only important ult here. And it's the dance. Both teams tangoing about the Roche Pit. Ward vision being seen. There's the Hex. Blink from BZM. Pull up Mortimer's Kisses. They want to try and get a fight happening here, OG. But GaiminGladiators just making their way out. They're just walking it off. Into the Roche Pit we go once again. Yagi also being caught by the tree volley, but it is off target. Bit of Malice in the middle. Link in. There's the Hex. Come up. Off the BKB. That's a BKB to run away. Yuragi as well. BKBs to run. Global Silence is used. BZM used the Ghost Walk. And neither team can really get a kill here. Everyone is just living on tenuous amounts of HP on the side of OG. And managed to make it back. Is there a way they can heal up? I think so. Roshan being scouted out by the illusions. Both teams. This is going to be a big fight. Whoever can get this, it is the Shard. Pretty impactful for both. And in go GaiminGladiators. They want to try and be the ones to get it done this time. Global is down for 80 seconds. Cyclone will catch through into the SF. But that doesn't slow him down. He's still in the pit, getting the job done. OG, they smoke up on 2. Requiem to fear him back. Actually, Sunstrike gets the kill on the gets the kill on the Roche. Boom, jumps forward with the 3-man avalanche. Buyback from the snap fight in the middle of the fight. They're trying to make their way back. Boom, he's taking the Chaos Meteor damage. It's a lot. You gotta be careful. That 80% bonus damage, Cyclone coming through doesn't catch him. Heading up the stairs of death, the ramp of death. And so it will be the Aegis over to the Shadow Fiend, as well as I believe the Shard. BZM did what he could, managed to get the kill on the Roshan with the Sunstrike. So the gold going the way of OG, but the items heading in the direction of Gaming Gladiators. Really fairly even trade in the end. I mean, you'd probably rather have the items, but still. Desolator now on Yuragi, so he's just going. He's got the defensive items, and now he says, I need the damage. We need to destroy whoever we go on very quickly. I mean, with the Corrosive Haze, negative 20 armor. Let's just do some maths here. So, 20 armor reduction. 20 armor reduction. We got another 6, that's 26. 26, and then if we have a look at Naga, 26 plus another 8. So we're looking at 34. Possibly 34 armor reduction on the side of Gaming Gladiators. Who gets going on here? 34. I mean, 9 armor, 17. I mean, they're going to be negative. I mean, the Shadow Fiend will be negative 34 armor. Top lane. X comes out with the stun follow-up from Amar and the Chaos Meteors. Yuragi throws out the Wukong. I mean, they're just going to get the tier 2 here. There was no further rotation. This is no joke, by the way. This damage from the Chaos Meteor with this 80% bonus at level 20, it is a lot of damage. If you walk in that for a little bit, you can just die. I'm sure most people have had the experience of accidentally walking in that level 20 Chaos Meteor and just instantly realizing that they're dead. Daedalus fully complete now on Dracho. Boom, we'll just throw out the single tree there to those range creeps. Working into a Daedalus as well, so there's going to be mass damage from Gaming Gladiators. They want to reply with their own damage source. So you got all this minus armor, not going to matter if you're dead and can't actually use it. It's looking for a point booster at the moment. Will be the full Octarine, yeah. So Octarine completed on BZM's Invoker. Drums on the Snapfire as well now. So just looking for casual auras, anything to buff up their cores at the moment. Cyclone just to slow down, but Cyclone into immediate TP out. BZM not mucking around at all on this top lane. And with the Aegis for another minute and 17, Gaming Gladiators are pretty much free to make their way onto this tier 2 tower. OG will do the same though, make a bit of a trade, and yeah, we'll actually take it first. Are they going to move into the mid lane as well? They'd love to claim this mid tier 2. Illusions are just starting to chip it down a little bit, but I think they realise that if they don't come back, the tier 3 push could come. Draghi, without the Boundless, and set up. Stun, follow up, X, there's the first life, it's immediately gone. BKB now popped from Amar. There'll be a Wukong's command on top. Chaos Meteor, BKB is used, but the bashes and this SF, he used to be alive. Global comes out a little bit probably too late, and it's just a full-on retreat now from Gaming Gladiators. Up on the high ground, Celery's being caught by the net. Tofu down as well by the ice wall, and he'll be bashed and sent back. And this is sort of how I anticipated the team fights to go in this game. When we saw the draft, you know, once they get that initial stun from Yuragi, they follow up with the bashes, the hex, the damage from the Invoker. This SF just can't live. You saw him die there. That was through the BKB. The second life was through the BKB. And this is really how I see this game going. 13k net worth lead now for OG. That was a huge swing in their favor. And GaiminGladiators are probably starting to see a little bit of a problem with their safe lane SF. With their draft. How are they going to keep this SF alive? They have no say. Global just didn't really come out fast enough. Actually, boom. Getting the tree volley onto Amar. And he'll go down. Amar didn't have the BKB for another 10 seconds or so. So it was probably playing a little bit aggressively. In GaiminGladiators, maybe they just say, we'll just outplay them. We'll just outplay them. Just wait for them to make a mistake like they did there. And push down mid lane. With the slider dead, it's very difficult for the SF to probably die. If his whole team's around and Global is up. Damn, actually finding a kill in the base. Oh my goodness, Yuragi and BZM, just the assassin squad. And threatening the tier 3. I mean, the tower looks like it's probably going to go down. Forge Spirits, I think, will get the job done. Meanwhile, they TP back. They know there's no silencer, and the TP has gone from the Underlord. Boundless Strike catches onto Boom. Requiem will fear the rest of OG back. Kisses. Remember, there's no Global to stop it this time. Boom will go down. BKB popped in the middle of the fight. Yuragi trying to get the damage over onto Ace through the BKB. Everyone's rooted inside. Wukon's command. Stun. Will catch on too. And now they're in trouble. Cookie through. And this SF falls once again. Ace trying to get up over the high ground with the Ogre Seal Titan. Caught by the Cyclone. And the damage from Tiger Illusions. Yuragi, they get the job done. And effectively, it's a full 5-man team wipe with Silencer already being in the well. 17k net worth lead now to the side of OG. And it's really now out of control for the side of GaiminGladiators. This SF gets caught by one stun. It's just one stun, that's all it takes. One stun from OG and they're gone. Gem on the Naga Sirens, well controlling that, and looking for the Aghanim Scepter. They want to have the reel in, the ensnare through the BKB, as well as the reel in, and that can just completely destroy another way to get rid of the BKBs. This is going to be 2 racks, it looks like. 1 rack's falling in the mid lane, top lane as well. This 11 seconds, they might just give a little bit of space. And they want the tier 3. Actually blink in. The stun, there's a BKB available if they want it, but they don't even need it on Amar. As a buyback on Boom, maybe forced to use it in the middle of the fight. BZM using the refresher, just going straight in, almost into the well, forcing them back to their base. Global. BKB used now from BZM with the Hex underneath the Pit of Malice. And the SF just dies off to the side of the fight. I mean, BZM just herded them into their base. Is this going to be Megas? I think it is. That's just Mega Creeps. And Yuragi now with the BKB tree volley from Boom into the middle of the fight, but the damage, it's not enough. Yuragi standing strong, popping out the Wukon's command, and into the base they go. Cyclone catching off to the side. This Enchantress, the poor Enchantress, it's GG. GaiminGladiators call it. Game 1 goes to OG with a 33k net worth lead as the well is being invaded.